Dealing with a narcissist can be an emotional roller coaster, a challenge that many of us face at some point in our lives. The constant need for control, manipulation, and the emotional toll it takes can leave individuals feeling drained and powerless. The emotional toll of engaging with a narcissist is something many of us understand all too well. Whether it's a friend, family member, or colleague, the constant need for validation and control can leave you questioning your own worth. But here's the good news. You don't have to surrender your power. In this video, grab your seat because we're about to uncover the 5 power-packed phrases that shut down a narcissist and help you reclaim control. The 4th one will blow your mind. Phrase 1. I need some time alone to think about this. Navigating a conversation with a narcissist can sometimes feel like walking on a tightrope, where every step you take is scrutinized and manipulated. That's where our first powerful phrase comes in. I need some time alone to think about this. This simple yet assertive statement serves as your shield, allowing you to step back and create a breathing space in the midst of a potentially manipulative interaction. Imagine a scenario where a narcissistic individual attempts to twist the narrative to suit their agenda. By calmly asserting, I need some time alone to think about this, you're not only taking control of the situation, but also giving yourself the opportunity to assess your feelings and responses. It's a strategic move that disrupts the narcissist's pattern of control and provides you with a moment of clarity amidst the chaos. Consider the impact on self-esteem. The act of expressing the need for personal reflection reinforces your value and autonomy. It sends a message that your thoughts and feelings matter, and they deserve careful consideration. By utilizing this phrase, you're not only protecting yourself from potential manipulation, but also fostering a sense of self-respect that is vital in dealing with narcissistic behavior. In practical terms, this phrase can be adapted to various situations. For instance, if a narcissistic individual attempts to corner you into a decision, responding with, I need some time alone to think about this grants you the freedom to detach from the pressure and make choices on your terms. It's a subtle yet powerful assertion of your agency, creating a boundary that demands respect. Phrase 2. I appreciate your perspective, but I have my own thoughts on the matter. In the intricate dance of conversation with a narcissist, acknowledging their perspective while maintaining your own agency is a delicate art. Enter our second empowering phrase. I appreciate your perspective, but I have my own thoughts on the matter. This statement acts as a diplomatic yet firm boundary, allowing you to validate the other person's viewpoint without surrendering your autonomy. Picture a scenario where a narcissist attempts to dominate the conversation, imposing their beliefs and minimizing yours. By calmly asserting, I appreciate your perspective, but I have my own thoughts on the matter, you're gracefully establishing that both perspectives have value. This not only challenges the narcissist's need for control, but also reinforces your right to an independent viewpoint. Consider the impact on self-esteem. This phrase becomes a declaration of your intellectual autonomy. It communicates that while you respect differing opinions, your thoughts are equally valid. In the face of narcissistic manipulation, this stance is a powerful shield against attempts to undermine your perspective. Your self-esteem is bolstered by asserting your right to an individual point of view, fostering a sense of confidence that is crucial when dealing with narcissistic behavior. Practically, this phrase can be applied in various situations. For instance, if a narcissistic individual tries to dismiss your ideas or impose their own, responding with, I appreciate your perspective, but I have my own thoughts on the matter, maintains a balanced conversation. It prevents the conversation from becoming a one-sided power play and encourages mutual respect. So, armed with this phrase, you can gracefully navigate the tricky waters of narcissistic interactions, ensuring your voice is heard while maintaining your self-respect. Phrase 3. I won't be able to continue this conversation if it becomes disrespectful. As we delve deeper into our toolkit for managing conversations with narcissists, we encounter a phrase that establishes a crucial boundary. I won't be able to continue this conversation if it becomes disrespectful. This statement acts as a firm line in the sand, emphasizing the importance of mutual respect and setting clear expectations when dealing with narcissistic behavior. Picture a scenario where a narcissist begins to employ disrespectful tactics, perhaps belittling your opinions or attempting to manipulate the conversation to their advantage. By calmly asserting, "I won't be able to continue this conversation if it becomes disrespectful," you're drawing a clear boundary that asserts your right to be treated with dignity. This phrase disrupts the toxic dynamic, making it known that you won't tolerate inappropriate behavior. Consider the impact on self-esteem. This phrase becomes a declaration of self-worth. It communicates that you value yourself enough to demand respect in any conversation. In the face of narcissistic attempts to undermine or manipulate, this stance becomes a powerful shield. By setting this boundary, you not only protect your emotional well-being, but also send a strong message about the importance of respect in any interaction. Practically, this phrase can be applied in various situations. For instance, if a narcissistic individual starts to employ disrespectful language or tactics, responding with "I won't be able to continue this conversation if it becomes disrespectful" puts them on notice. It shifts the focus from their attempts at manipulation to the importance of maintaining a respectful dialogue. Phrase 4. Let's focus on a solution rather than placing blame. In our arsenal of phrases to navigate the labyrinth of narcissistic interactions, we encounter a strategic pivot. Let's focus on a solution rather than placing blame. This powerful statement serves as a directional shift in the conversation, steering away from the narcissist's inclination to control through blame and redirecting towards a more constructive and solution-oriented dialogue. Imagine a scenario where a narcissistic individual is quick to assign blame, creating a toxic atmosphere where accountability is weaponized. By calmly asserting, "Let's focus on a solution rather than placing blame," you're disrupting the pattern of blame shifting and manipulation. This phrase becomes a bridge to a more positive and forward-thinking interaction, emphasizing collaboration over control. Consider the impact on self-esteem. This phrase positions you as a problem solver rather than a scapegoat. It communicates that you value constructive dialogue and refuse to be ensnared in a blame game. In the face of narcissistic attempts to deflect responsibility onto you, this stance becomes a shield. By introducing the focus on solutions, you not only regain control of the conversation, but also reinforce your commitment to a healthy and constructive exchange. Practically, this phrase can be applied in various situations. For instance, if a narcissistic individual starts to blame you for issues or deflect responsibility, responding with "Let's focus on a solution" rather than placing blame shifts the narrative. It compels both parties to move beyond finger-pointing and engage in a more productive conversation. Phrase 5. I'm not comfortable with the way this conversation is going. Let's revisit it when we can communicate more calmly. In the final stretch of our journey through empowered communication with narcissists, we encounter a phrase that serves as both a boundary and an invitation to healthier dialogue. I'm not comfortable with the way this conversation is going. Let's revisit it when we can communicate more calmly. This statement not only acknowledges discomfort, but firmly asserts the need for a more constructive environment, putting the brakes on a potentially toxic exchange. Picture a scenario where a narcissist's tactics escalate, creating an emotionally charged atmosphere. By calmly asserting, "I'm not comfortable with the way this conversation is going," you're not only expressing your emotional boundaries, but also signaling that you won't engage in a dialogue tainted by manipulation or aggression. This phrase becomes a powerful pause button, allowing both parties to step back and recalibrate. Consider the impact on self-esteem. This phrase is a declaration of emotional self-preservation. It communicates that you prioritize your well-being and won't allow yourself to be dragged into a harmful exchange. In the face of a narcissist's attempts to stir emotions or provoke a reaction, this stance becomes a shield. By proposing to revisit the conversation in a calmer state, you not only regain control of the interaction, but also reinforce your commitment to maintaining a healthy emotional space. Practically, this phrase can be applied in various situations. For instance, if a narcissistic individual tries to escalate the conversation into a confrontation, responding with, "I'm not comfortable with the way this conversation is going. Let's revisit it when we can communicate more calmly," allows you to take a step back. It sets the expectation for a more respectful and composed interaction, providing a chance for emotions to settle before addressing the issue at hand. Armed with these phrases, you not only protect your emotional well-being, but also create an opportunity for more meaningful and constructive communication in the future. We've armed ourselves with 5 powerful phrases to reclaim control and maintain self-respect. Dealing with narcissistic behavior is indeed a challenge, but by incorporating these phrases into your interactions, you're not just setting boundaries. You're reclaiming your power. Remember, it's not about changing the narcissist. It's about empowering yourself to navigate these conversations with strength and resilience. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to express your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your stories and insights might resonate with others facing similar challenges. And of course, if you haven't already, consider subscribing for more valuable content that empowers you in various aspects of your life.